Hello, everybody. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and today we're going to be talking a movie that's not really a horror film, but this movie is destined to be a cult film. I just feel it in my bones. This one's definitely going to be that. And the movie we're going to talk about today is The Canyons with Lindsay Lohan, James Deen. The movie's directed by Paul Schrader, who the one thing I think is kind of funny about Paul Schrader is, I mean, here's a guy who is, he's a big name screenwriter. He's written many movies. He's written a bunch of movies for Martin Scorsese, like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, The Last Temptation of Christ. He's written a lot of movies, and but the movie is written by Brett Easton Ellis, who's written books like American Psycho, The Rules of Attraction, Lesson Zero, The Informers, so on, so on, and what I think is funny though is I just think that it's kind of weird that that you know Paul Schrader tends to direct a lot of movies he doesn't write, but he always has other people direct the scripts that he writes. I think he's directed very little of the movies that he's written, but he always directs other people's scripts, and it seems like he always has somebody else directs the scripts that he writes. That's strange, but okay. But anyway, getting into this movie, I'm gonna be blunt with you about this movie. Okay, really, the only reason you're gonna want to watch this movie is if you want to see nude Lindsay Lohan. That's pretty much about all you got going for you, and or that's all this movie really is going for it. It's it's not the most entertaining movie in the world, but it's not the worst either. And you have her starring with James Deen, who at the time was a successful porn actor, and I don't want to say anything too much, but I don't believe he's doing porn anymore. I think I do remember hearing stories about some of the actresses that he worked with in the adult film industry coming out and saying that he was quite abusive at times. He was pretty rough with them, and so I mean, I guess this was him trying to transition from the adult film industry into trying to do more serious work and stuff like that. But so anyway, so in this movie, okay, Lindsay Lohan, she plays Tara, and James Dean plays Christian. And here's the deal: Christian he's basically kind of like he's something of like a trust fund baby. He's getting all this money from his father, but here's the problem: is he's got to turn around and make a movie because he has to do something to show his father that he's trying to have some momentum in his life. He's trying to go somewhere. He's trying to do something, and Tara, his girlfriend Lindsay Lohan, she's assisting him on this movie and everything else. And but he's got this other assistant, and she has a boyfriend. And it turns out that this boyfriend and Lindsay Lohan, they were dating before, and now they're having an affair and they're sleeping around and all this stuff. And so Lindsay Lohan's like trying to tell her, we can't keep doing this and all this other kind of stuff. And the boyfriend, he's kind of like, I don't care, baby, I love you and everything else. Never mind that he's with this other girl. He has no problems, throwing her under the bus for Lindsay Lohan's character, but so he's all like, I want to be with you, I love you, baby, and all this other kind of stuff. But it turns out that James Dean here, he's not particularly innocent either. He's got a girl that he's seeing, and she wants him to leave Lindsay Lohan for her, and all this other kind of stuff. And he's kind of, as the movie goes along, he's kind of spiraling more out of control, and he pretty much, he senses that Lindsay Lohan, this guy, they're having an affair, and he's James Dean is kind of into this thing of like he likes to. At one point, they invite a man over to their house so that he can watch them have sex and everything else, and he admits that he has this kind of power rush that he gets from letting people know that Lindsay Lohan's character, she's his woman and she belongs to him and stuff, and she's kind of like, I'm not into this and all this other kind of stuff. And so now the fact that this guy who Lindsay Lohan's having the affair with, he's cast in this movie, so James Dean is kind of like playing tricks with this guy. Like at one point, one of the producers on this movie is gay, and so Christian goes to this guy and tell this guy if he wants to keep his part in the movie, he needs to have sex with you and stuff like that. And so so the guy invites him over and tells this guy that Lindsay Lohan's having the affair with that, yeah, if you want to keep your job, you need to have sex with me, and he does it and everything else, and he goes along with it and stuff. But at the same time, he knows that like James Dean's character is behind this, And you know, being Brett Easton Ellis, though, it does ultimately start becoming a movie with explicit sex. There's a scene where James Deen and he invites this couple into their house, and Lindsay Lohan, you'll see her there. She's on the bed there, getting ready and all this other kind of stuff. And they come in and they start having this group sex thing. The two girls are kissing, the two guys are kissing, so everybody's just getting it on with everybody and stuff like that. So there's the explicit sex. But I kind of got this feeling that after the book American Psycho was published, I think that people came after Brett Easton Ellis and basically said anything you write now has to have a killer in it. And ultimately, later on in the movie, James Dean character starts killing people. And, like he murders this girl that he was having the affair with because she does this thing to let Lindsay Lohan know that this guy's psycho and everything. And she admits that the reason why she wanted him for herself. And so James Dean kills her character and all this stuff. And so basically, he admits to Lindsay Lohan's character that he did kill this girl. And and Lindsay Lohan's like begging him to let her go. And he says, I'll let you go on the provision of one thing. He's like, you do not have contact with this man ever again. This guy that you were having the affair with, you never have contact with him ever again. And she finally agrees to that. And he's all like, if you do that, I'll let you go and I'll let you live and all this other kind of stuff. But he's like, if I find out you're with him, I'm coming to get you and all this other kind of stuff. And he basically kind of like manipulates her into saying that, like another way I'll let you go is you have to say that I was here, provide me with an alibi and all this other kind of stuff. So, and then like the guy that Lindsay Lohan, the one she's having the affair with, he goes back, it gets back to his girlfriend that he was dating that, he's having the affair with her. And she tells this guy, get the hell out of my house. You and I are done. Um, she's like, here's what I'm gonna do is like, first of all, I'm kicking your ass out the door, and then I'm gonna go to Christian, and whatever it's gonna have to take to keep this movie going. She's like, I've worked too hard, too many people to put too much effort into this for you and that bimbo to screw it all up and everything. So I'm gonna go to him, and whatever it takes to, um, whatever it takes to keep this movie going, I'm gonna do it. And she's like, I'm not gonna let you ruin this. So piss off. And so, so he leaves and everything else. And then, so he kind of starts stalking, Lindsay Lohan's character and stuff. So, but anyway, though, yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's one of those movies that's definitely going to be a cult film because mainly because of your two stars here, James Dean and Lindsay Lohan. James Dean because it was reported supposedly that when he was doing adult films that he was being a little rough with the actresses he was working with and stuff. And Lindsay Lohan, obviously, I mean, it's like this movie's going to definitely be a cult film because of Lindsay Lohan being nude and stuff like that. So I mean, if you want to see Lindsay Lohan naked, this is definitely the movie to do it. I mean, she shows her stuff in here, and but also too, yeah, I mean, come on, from directed by the man who wrote like Taxi Driver and The Last Temptation of Christ, and written by the creator of American Psycho. So yeah, this movie's going to definitely be a cult film. I think it's going to have a cult following. But honestly, that's kind of the biggest draw for this movie is if you want to see Lindsay Lohan in her new glory, this is the movie to do it with. So, but yeah, it's kind of thin on plot, and the thing is if you read, it definitely has dialogue wise, character wise, you have a lot of characters who are kind of detached and kind of desensitized, and they just kind of go through life and kind of just, you know, I don't know, they're kind of weird, like things that would, most normal people, the way people would react and emote to certain things, like it doesn't affect them, and that's been a theme in a lot of Ellis's books, like American Psycho and Rules of Attraction and stuff, where like stuff that would affect normal, regular thinking people never bothers a lot of these characters. They just kind of go about their day, like, where am I going to get my coke? Where am I going to, it's like, I need to get laid. Where am I going to find a woman I can get laid with, or whatever else? So I mean, they just kind of got that thing. So, and that's definitely evident in this movie. So it's very much of the style. If you read any of Brett Easton Ellis's books, it's definitely in the style of his novels and stuff. So, Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for talking about the canyons. Like I said, basically, new Lindsay Lohan. That's pretty much what you're going in for on this movie. So yeah, that's going to do it. So this is Cinema77, horror and cult film lover, and I hope you love cult Lindsay Lohan nude movies as I do. Apparently, well, I guess I do. But anyway, though, um, if you took the time to watch this video, thank you. I do appreciate you for doing it. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. This is Cinema77, horror and cult film lover, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.